So, an official Oblivion remake is in the works from Bethesda.
At this time of year, at this time of day, in this part of the country, localized entirely within your kitchen.
Yes.
My relationship with this franchise is a long and complicated one that has involved more character development than the entire plot of the main quest of the last 3 TES games. So, you might think that hearing that Bethesda is finally taking a second away from full-aiding Fallout to finally give some love to Elder Scrolls, that I would be over the moon. But in this case, you would be wrong. I will try to explain why here in brief. Firstly, because the rumored remake in question is being co-produced by Virtuos Studios. Now, Virtuos is a port/remake/support studio that has a history more mixed than my last dog's ancestry. As far as I can tell, they do not have a DEI department. However, they were involved in the development of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. But if all they handle is the technical side of things, which seems to be where they are headed, then we are out of any hot water, right? Not so fast, cowboy, because while I couldn't find a DEI statement or department at Virtuos, Bethesda absolutely has one, and although the coward has scrubbed his Twitter, Emil Pagliarillo, one of the head honchos over at Bethesda, has politics slightly to the left of Karl Marx. As to how they could wokeify this remake, look at other situations in recent times where old games have been remade for modern audiences and have had all of the potentially problematic bits removed for the sake of pleasing a studio's overlords. But, potential Marxist leanings and wokeification aside, we need to discuss the actual game we might be getting for a bit, as they're supposed to be combining Unreal Engine and Creation Engine to have the graphics of the former and gameplay of the latter, which seems to be an interesting idea, to put it mildly, for a couple of reasons. One of the greatest assets of Creation Engine is just how modular it is, which means that you can do an awful lot with it as far as creating dungeons or character models or whatever you want, but the problem with Creation Engine, even Creation Engine 2, is that it is simply graphically not on par with Unreal Engine 5. So, if Bethesda and Virtuos have found a way to frost the Creation Engine cake with Unreal graphics, I think the results could be spectacular. Emphasis on could, because if there is a way to make this busted in half with bugs, Bethesda will find it. And there are rumors that this remake is going back to the Todd Howard standard practice of trimming everything back, and by that I mean streamlining, which does concern me a lot because while Bethesda occasionally adds new and interesting features like dual wielding in Skyrim or the ability to build your own house, for every feature they add, they pull out 5, and if they do something retarded like pulling classes to make the remake feel more like Skyrim, or they remove spellmaking because of arbitrary reasons.tm, then they are going to catch more flack than a B-17 over Dresden. However, I can see places where changing things could be an improvement, such as the enemy leveling and just general game difficulty. Having that change to be slightly less retarded than it was in the original would be great. But once again, we need to wait and see on how this is executed, if the rumors do bear fruit. There is also another major concern I have with this remake from Bethesda. If the rumors are to be believed, then the remake of Oblivion is coming out within the year. And the reason that is a concern is that we are getting Skyblivion, the unofficial fan remake of Oblivion in Skyrim's engine, this year as well. And if said fan remake puts the official remake to shame in terms of quality and thus popularity, I could see Bethesda, or far more likely Microsoft, pulling a Games Workshop and just starting to kill off fan projects via cease and desist orders to save face. But that is just a bad premonition of mine and is probably completely unfounded. After all, there's no way they could possibly be that petty, right? Right, guys? I will be keeping a sharp eye on this remake situation as it progresses, but I would love to hear what you think down below. Do you think Bethesda and Virtuos can pull off a proper remake of Oblivion, and if so, will you be playing it? Consider leaving a like on this video as it really helps the channel, and until next time, this has been Pete the Radical Nerd, signing off.